Bettas, more like betas, am I right? Hey, it's your local fish keeper Sabrina. Bet puns aside, bettas are known to be one of the most abused pet fish in the world. So let's dive into the world of bettas to understand a little better about our finny friends. Okay, I'll stop now. There are over 70 types of betta fish known to mankind. However, today we'll be focusing specifically on Betta splendens, which is the most common type found and sold in fish stores. Do note that wild-type bettas require a totally different care guide. Under the Betta splendens type, there are also many variations of which we can categorize them into, such as into colors, tail types, and patterns. These fish had been selectively bred with each other in order to produce new coloration, fin, and tail patterns, such as these ones. Betta fish can grow up to about 6 centimeters or 2.4 inches, and they live about 3 to 5 years. Temperament-wise, generally they are categorized as aggressive and territorial, but we'll visit this point again later. Bettas are sexually dimorphic, so we can actually differentiate between male and female fish. Personally, I find that the best way to tell between the two is to check for ovipositor in matured females. Ovipositor looks like a small white spot between the pelvic and anal fins on the underside of their body. Ovipositor is an organ that they use to lay eggs. Another way is to check for the male's beard when they flare their gills. When the males flare, you'll notice a prominent frilly beard behind their gill plates. As for fins, short fins do not necessarily mean female bettas, as there are long fin variations and short fin variations, such as the placottes. The proper way to identify is by checking their pelvic and anal fins. Males have extended anal fins and their pelvic fins are much thicker and longer compared to females. To me, bubble nest presence is an unreliable indication, as I have had female bettas that build their own bubble nest and place their own unfertilized eggs into the bubble nest before too. Betta fish originates from Southeast Asia, such as Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam, which then brings us to the next topic, which is tank size and water parameters. Even in 2020, I still find bettas being kept living in a small vase, cup, or a small bowl. This is due to the misconception that bettas do not need much space to live in, as in the wild, they live in puddles and shallow streams in rice paddies. However, something that needs to be taken into high consideration is that those shallow puddles are found in huge areas of wetland. In other words, bettas jump and move from one puddle to the next and do not remain in one puddle for their lifetime, thus debunking the misconception of bettas living in small puddles or areas and the misconception of bettas simply not being an active fish. The recommended tank size for a single betta is 5 gallons or 19 liters. If you're planning to get tank mates, I recommend increasing the tank size. A tank with more width and depth is much better than a tall tank, as bettas like to gulp air and rest near the surface. I would categorize betta as a jumpy fish, so I highly recommend getting a lid for its tank. Bettas live in tropical climates, so the water is warm all year round. I am from Malaysia and I can personally tell you from experience, it's pretty warm here. The most optimal and ideal temperature for these critters is between 26 to 30 degrees Celsius or 78.8 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, so I recommend getting a heater for them. Cool temperatures will cause a significant decrease in your betta's activity and weaken their immune system. It is especially prominent in long-finned variations, as their tail fins will droop down. As for other parameters, they thrive in a GH of 3 to 4 or 50 to 66.7 ppm, KH of 3 to 5 or 53.6 to 89.4 ppm, and a pH level between 6 to 7.5. Bettas do very well in blackwater aquariums. You can learn more about botanicals and tannins in the video linked in the corner above. Contrary to popular beliefs, bettas do require a filter. Filter houses beneficial bacteria that process fish waste, thus providing a healthy tank environment. You'll need a filter with a gentle flow. You do not want them to be thrown all around the tank. Not only that, especially for long fin variations, a strong flow could potentially rip up their beautiful fins. To help regulate your betta's circadian rhythm, do place a light in their tank. Not only will you be able to see them much clearer, it will also help them to tell between night and day. 8 hours is the recommended maximum amount of light time for them. Another thing to note down is that bettas are not fans of intense lighting. So having a cave-like structure, plants, or decorations that can help diffuse the lights do wonders for your betta. The rule of thumb for decorations is to have no sharp objects. This could potentially cause your fins to tear. Use decorations that have smooth surfaces, like a smooth cave. Bettas thrive greatly in planted tanks. They love to rest on leaves and hide in the shade. Plants like Amazon sword, Anubias, and Java ferns are always a big hit and are well-known betta beds. Floating plants are their favorite as they love resting in their roots. You can also DIY a betta bed. Place them near the surface of the water and watch your betta rest and sleep. In the wild, bettas are insectivores, so they eat insects. In the home aquarium, it is best to give them a balanced, varied diet. I would like to preface this by saying that it is very important to not overfeed your bettas, as this could lead to countless health issues. For pellets, I like to feed my bettas about 3 to 5 pellets per once or twice feedings a day. Besides pellets, for a more fun and exciting feeding time, and for enrichment purposes, you can feed your betta live food such as daphnias, baby brine shrimps, and mosquito larvae. Mosquito larvae helps greatly in the strength and form of their finnage, especially for crown tails. Feeding bettas live food will definitely ignite their hunting and predatory behavior. You can also feed your betta frozen food such as frozen bloodworms, but do not overfeed them this, as this could easily lead to bloat problems. Of course, the rule here is to not feed everything at the same time in a day, but to change the menu every couple of days, if you wish to do so. Now let's move on to a spicier part of the video, which is tank mates. Can bettas have tank mates? Yes, but certain criteria need to be met prior. First, temperament. Generally, they are categorized as aggressive fish. However, over the years, I noticed significant difference in personality between my bettas. Some are definitely more aggressive than others and will kill everything they see. Always monitor and get to know your betta's personal temperament before adding any other tank mates. Second, tank size. Bettas are territorial fish, be it male or female. In order to add other tank mates in, your bettas need to have their own secure territory. So having a tank size of 10 gallons or more is definitely recommended. Introduction. When introducing other critters into your tank, ensure to feed your bettas first. Now that's out of the way, a general rule of thumb for choosing tank mates is to avoid tank mates that are nippy and have big fins. Some possible tank mates include snails, culiluches, peaceful schooling fish such as rami-nosed neon tetras and lamp-eye killifish, odosinclus catfish, corridoras, and danios. Another thing worth noting is that to ensure each species meet their own recommended space and needs. Males should never be housed in a tank together. That is a recipe for unnecessary stress and bloodbath. A single male and a single female should only be placed in a tank together for breeding purposes, and the female is to be let out and rehomed to a different tank once eggs have been laid. Never mix multiple females and a single male together. This might sound like a good idea, but remember, female bettas are bettas too. They are territorial and aggressive and will fight with males as well, and vice versa. Betta sorority. If you followed BETTAFISH for a while, you'll remember that I had a betta sorority some time ago. My opinion on this matter has changed completely. I personally do not agree with the idea of a betta sorority anymore. It causes unnecessary stress, and less dominant females can get bullied to death, thus not providing them with a good quality of life. Of course, I've seen betta sororities that work for some people, but very rarely, so I personally do not recommend it. Bettas need their exercise. No, you don't have to take them to the gym. Especially for long fin variations, a flaring exercise is needed every once in a while to keep it healthy and to ensure the muscles around its fins are strong enough to support its big and beautiful tail. You can place a mirror in front of it for a few minutes and let your fin friend flare. Wow, try saying that 5 times. But do not overdo it, as this could stress them out. Bubble nest. It is a natural behavior, especially for male bettas, as they are bubble nest spawners. Male bettas build bubble nests as part of its breeding ritual. Once the female lays its eggs, the male will place these eggs into the bubble nest. Male bettas take care of the eggs and babies, while females are known to eat them afterwards. Females are to be removed from the breeding tank once she has laid her eggs. Besides for breeding purposes, bettas simply build bubble nests when they are happy and healthy. Bettas are labyrinth fish. Like other fish, they breathe through their gills. However, they also possess a supplemental special breathing structure called the labyrinth. The labyrinth allows bettas to use oxygen from air gulped in through their mouth at the water surface and in oxygen-poor water. However, this does not mean that you can take it out of water. Bettas still need water to live. That's all for today. I hope this video has been somewhat helpful. Thank you for sticking around. Do like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content, and please don't forget to comment down below, as I love hearing your thoughts and reading your comments. Until then, see you next time!